My humble pranams to Revered Swamis Bodhimayanji and Shastragyanji and to all the senior monks sitting here. And my warm regards to all of you. For 2 days now, you have been inspired totally through the galaxy of speakers. They have pumped into you so many wonderful ideas, so many powerful new thoughts have been given to all of you. And I'm sure that when you return to your homes, you will digest these and you will assimilate them and use these ideas to become strong. What will you do after you become strong? All of you will become strong. But what will you do after you become strong? And here is where Swamiji's great expectation from you is. That after you become strong, you will use that strength. You will use that knowledge. You will use that self-confidence, that Atma-Shraddha. You will use it for the welfare, not only for yourself, but you will also use it for the welfare of others, for your society, for people around you, for this nation. And most important, also share with people Swamiji's ideas, so that others also become strong like you. What I'm now going to do in the next 20 minutes is that, or 25 minutes, I'm going to share with you the story of a group of people who are based in Bombay, who are like you, many of them like you, inspired by Swamiji, and who are thinking about Swamiji day and night, and they are trying to find a way whereby they are able to spread Swamiji's ideas across the country. And how is this to be done? So this is a case study for all of you. But using this case study, it will do two things for you. One, it will give you ideas on what happens through the digestion of these ideas. And number two, along with it, it will give you ideas on what you can do for Swamiji when you go back to your homes and when you are ready to think not only of yourself, but all of society together. So let me start off. Let's start first with the basic idea which Swamiji presents to us, that the Vedanta as a religion must be intensely practical. So these are not mere inspirational words, but you must be able to carry it out in every part of one's life. How is this to be done? How does one assimilate Vedanta into every part of one's life? In fact, this is a challenge not only for ourselves, but all of society. If you think about it, you see Swami Vivekananda gave us such a wonderful vision of the divinity of man. Each soul is potentially divine. And the goal is to manifest that divinity within. He told us about the solidarity of all life, how all of us are interconnected with people. He told us about the 4 yogas. He gave us a vision for India. He taught us the ideal of Tyaga and Seva. He gave us also the message of practical Vedanta and said that now all this must be made practical. All this was given by Swamiji. How to connect it into our lives? In my case at least, one of the inspirations that I found was Swami Ranganathan's ideas, which were connecting Swamiji's ideas to the day-to-day life. Because he talked about how, because of that, each one of us can be an enlightened citizen. Someone who's not just a vote giver or a vote catcher, but he's somebody who is actually he's a citizen who's building up the country at every stage. He talks about how you can apply the Bhagavad Gita in your day-to-day life. You have heard so much about the powerful messages of the Bhagavad Gita in the last 2 days. And also, most important, what happens if that divinity within you is manifest? What happens when that infinite power, that self which is there inside you comes out? What will happen to you? How will your life change? All these are the questions that Swami Ranganathan. And now, what this work that we have been doing and the work that you will also do in your life and in others' life is helping yourself and others assimilate these ideas. Take them into you and achieve it on speed and scale, because this country needs it. It needs not only all of us here, but it needs 10x. It needs 10 times more such people, 100 times more people, because our country is 1.4 billion people. We need to transform this country at a high speed in the next 25, 30 years. We need to do it, and we need to take it into institutions, communities, across the country, in every nook and cranny. There is tremendous work waiting for each one of you. And each one of you has to do this work. And now, let us talk about this work in different ways. First, let me give you the first example of how these ideas are assimilated in people's life. The first example is when you take children. Can children be allowed to manifest their possibilities? What is manifesting possibilities means? What happens if I become awakened to the idea that inside me there is infinite potential? What happens because of that? What does that potential look like? That potential looks first of all like physical possibilities. We learn how to handle the environment, how to play games, how to play sports, how to handle, go to the limits of the world. All this we learn, but we also learn new intellectual and mental possibilities in ourselves. Those possibilities start opening up in us. We start learning. We can become great scientists. We can become people who are fantastic, creative people who can actually create powerful things. All these possibilities are sitting inside each one of you. And also, you can also open up your heroic possibilities within, or your deeper character possibilities. What are those possibilities? Those possibilities include your being heroic, your learning to have Shraddha, your ability to seek perfection. All these things are waiting inside you to come out like a fountain. Now, this program we have actually tried to share with children across this country. Do you know that the Ramakrishna Mission, and we have designed the program at Illumin, and Ramakrishna Mission Delhi, they have actually implemented it in schools, and such a program for 3 years, 7th, 8th, 9th, is today going to more than 1 million children annually across the country. They are all receiving this program as part of every Kendriya Vidyalaya, Navodaya school. All these people are receiving. More than 6,300 schools and 36,000 teachers are teaching it across the country. The message of Swamiji, how we can manifest our possibilities. And this message obviously is open to all of you also. Secondly, not only are we taking, all these ideas can go to schools, but these ideas have to go into our work lives. In India, do you know, many years back, there was a study done by a very famous person called Michael Porter, who said that, when he did the study, he said India no doubt has a labor advantage. But what is the quality of the work in this country? What is the quality of the labor in this country? So our challenge is that how do we improve that? And Swami Vivekananda's Vedanta asks us to improve the quality of the work ethic in this country. In fact, he says that each one of us is engaged in work, but most of us fritter away our time. They fritter away our greater energies which are there. We have to learn the secret of work, he says. And this, how are we going to apply this? And when you are applying this, two things are needed. We need as workers not only to develop this Atma Shraddha, but we have to develop what is called the capacity to contribute. What is capacity to contribute? Capacity to contribute means make a difference, not just work. For example, there are some people, 2 students are there, one studies for 4 hours, second student also studies for 4 hours. One student gets 70% mark, second student gets 90% mark. What is the difference? It's not intelligence. The actual difference may be that both are equally intelligent, but one knows how to study while the other doesn't know how to study. Similarly, people have to know how to work. And this message of teaching people how to work is also the message of Swamiji. So Swamiji is not only telling us that inside you is tremendous potential, he is also teaching you how to work. And this message means that, for example, you have to ask the question, why should I work? Then the ideas which were told by Revered Sadhu Swamis comes up. That is, we have to have both Abhyudaya and Nisreyasa. That means you have to work for both outer welfare and inner welfare. We have to demonstrate human concern. We have to develop, adapt, learn how to adapt to multiple situations, which is the idea of dynamic identity. We have to learn how to find solutions to problems. So all this is actually work that each one of us will do. And this is the work ethic that we are talking about. And our goal, the goal of Swamiji and the goal that we also have taken up is that we have to ensure that there is a pipeline of such people, of workers in these people, whom we are calling contributors. Today in the country, thousands of contributor bankers are being trained. Contributor engineering professionals are being trained in various organizations. Contributor software professionals in organizations like in large organizations have come. Contributor salesmen. Each one of them can be a contributor in his area of work. And similar, in fact, so far more than 700,000 students have gone through the program on how to become contributors. And this is the kind of message that even we can carry for ourselves, that how to be contributors, and we have to also learn how to make others also contributors. That is, not just workers who come and routinely do things, but people who make a tangible, positive difference, who are able to meet the outcomes which are needed, and who are able to achieve work efficiency. Now, it is not only that we are now talking about, we are also talking about how through Swamiji's message, we have to build self-confidence and positive identities in companies. Let me give you a concrete example of how positive identities can be created. We work, for example, with, these village housewives on the subject of malnutrition. You know what is malnutrition, right? Malnutrition means they don't get enough food. And when new knowledge was given to them, they were saying, oh, we are such poor housewives, we are uneducated housewives, how we will learn all these complicated things. So they were actually resisting these ideas because they felt that they were not good enough. So the first thing that we did was we gave them a message. First of all, who are you? You are Durga, you are Lakshmi, you are Saraswati. You are Durga because you are protecting your household. You are Lakshmi because you are bringing prosperity to the household. You are Saraswati because you are responsible for building knowledge in your children. Now, when you are Durga, Lakshmi and Saraswati, can you not learn how you can, try to transform the way food is given to your family? Can you not give different types of food which is actually going to make your children healthier, make your daughters, sons, all of them stronger? And then immediately they understood, yes, I have a tremendous responsibility. I am all these things, so why can I not assimilate these ideas? Let me give you another example. If you take, for example, simple thing like you take students children who are in slums, or petrol pump attendants, people who are considered again uneducated sections of society. But if you give them Swamiji's idea that inside you is balam, all kinds of balam is there. Atma balam is there. Inner strength. Buddhi balam is there. Bahu balam is there. And what kind of balam? Everyone doesn't have same kind of balam. A nurse has different kind of buddhi balam. A petrol pump attendant has different kind of buddhi balam, and a slum child has got a different kind of buddhi balam, different kind of atma balam, different kind of bahu balam. Everyone doesn't need to be super strong, but if he's a laborer who has to do physical labor, he has to be super strong. Somebody else doesn't need that, but they need deftness, or they need to work for long hours. So there are different things which are there. So the same atma balam, buddhi balam, bahu balam, when they apply that, suddenly they they find that there is a tremendous awakening that takes place in them. We have seen with our own eyes that when people know that inside me is these three types of bal, and that these three types of bal I can bring out in my work, immediately their attitude to work changes. In fact, we do scientific studies to find out what is the impact. And when we did a scientific study with them, what do we find? The most important impact that you find, for example, on a petrol pump attendant was that he says that I will stop stealing petrol. So we are wondering, what has Atma Balam, Buddhi Balam and Bahu Balam got to do with stealing petrol? Everything. Because when you become strong, then automatically you stop doing things which you know are low, which are not worthy of you. So that kind of strength can be built up. And this was been given to lakhs of people. In fact, more than 1 lakh petrol pump attendants alone got it. And similarly, thousands of slum children are getting this kind of message. And that's what Swamiji's message is. The only service to be done to our lower classes is to give them education, to develop their lost individuality. Our learning has been that every phrase of Swamiji is pregnant with meaning. Every phrase of Swamiji is equal to one person's life's work. All we have to do is to live it out and try and apply it on a day-to-day basis. It is not enough to get inspired. It is more important also to take up the work, take up the responsibility, because it is taking up the responsibility that allows us to digest those wonderful ideas, digest that inspiration and make it our own. Similarly, we are now working with the government. Do you know that so what does Swamiji says? So Swamiji says that if the fisherman thinks he is the spirit, then he will be a better fisherman. If a student thinks he is the spirit, he will be a better student. If a lawyer thinks he is a spirit, he will be a better lawyer. We have applied this one principle of Swamiji of how to do, of asking each person to think of themselves differently by saying that whoever you are, if you are a karmachari, don't think of yourself as an ordinary karmachari, think of yourself as a karma yogi. And when you think of yourself as a karma yogi, remember that inside you there is a tremendous seva bhav which is waiting to come out, which people accept. And on top of it, you are going and use that to serve the ordinary citizen. Use it to serve the citizen who is traveling. This has been applied in Indian Post. For more than 4 lakh people have received this. It has been applied in Indian Railways for all TTs in the country. Do you know that next time you travel in the train, the TT, the station master, they have all gone through Swamiji's ideas today. Whether you take Delhi police, more than 40,000 Delhi policemen have gone through it. Similarly, Haryana government, the entire government, 3 lakh people are getting Swamiji's message, which is that if you are the spirit, then you will be a better government servant. Don't be a karmachari, be a karma yogi. So there is a silent revolution going on, which is going on, and Swamiji is doing his work. And in a way, this is an invitation for all of you to be part of that revolution and to become the revolution yourself. Because each one of you should be the center point of one more revolution like this in each part of the country. And this also gives you a sense of the power of Swamiji's ideas. Similarly, let us think about one more idea. For example, you think of the whole thing about building thinking capacities. You know, every phrase of Swamiji, actually inside that has a new way to think. They are not only inspirational quotes which you keep on the desk. They have to be translated into new ways of thinking, new ways of doing. Let me give you one example. Swamiji says, whatever you will believe, that you will believe, that you will be. How do I now apply that in my life? So we found that each one of us is thinking 2 kinds of ideas. There are some ideas which are belief builders. That means they build our belief in oneself. For example, when I say I'm strong, it's a belief builder. But tomorrow there are some ideas which say I can't do it. That's a belief buster. So if you want to assimilate Swamiji's ideas in your life, you want to make it your own, what should you do? Only adopt and say belief builder ideas you should do. Whenever anybody speaks a belief buster idea, say no, that is a wrong idea. If someone says no, somebody is weak, or talks about someone and say this cannot be done, you say no, that's a belief buster idea. That means that is breaking belief. I don't want that idea, throw it away. Instead, any idea that increases my belief in myself, I will make it into a belief builder. Simple idea, but that is how Swamiji's ideas have to be taken into your life. Similarly, when you say you are lions, you are the soul, what does that mean? In your career, it is important to not have sheep thinking. What is sheep thinking? Everyone is going in one direction, everyone is becoming an engineer, I will become an engineer. Everyone is going in that direction, I will become that. That is sheep thinking. Lion thinking is to say, what do I want? What is it that I am good at, and let me take that and transform myself into that. Now, these are some examples that we have given of what can be done. Do you know that in the last few years alone, more than 4 million people have received Swamiji's ideas? And in the last 2 years alone, 1 million government servants in this country have received Swamiji's ideas, and a silent revolution, as I told you, is taking up. Now, this is my message to you. My message to you is, there is a group of people in Bombay who are inspired by Swamiji, who took up one idea. That idea is how to help people absorb and assimilate Swamiji's ideas in their life. Similarly, each one of you sitting here, when you go back, open the complete works, see one line that inspires you. Take up one idea, one thought of Swamiji, make that one idea your life, think of it, dream of it, live on that idea. Let the brain, muscles, nerves, every part of your body be full of that idea, and leave every other idea alone. If each one of you takes up one idea like that, the complete works has got thousands of ideas. Take a one idea like that and make it your life. You will be the change the country wants. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Srinivasan. Now, we will have the session where feedbacks will be given by the delegates. First of all, we will call Adrija Chaudhary from our Barasat Ramakrishna Ashram. She will speak for 5 minutes in Bengali, giving her feedback about this convention.